What's up, agents? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into some spicy ideas that could take Valorant from a great game to an even better one. Let's be real, we all love Valorant, but there's always room for improvement, from minimizing toxicity to making the minimap more useful or adjusting the remake system. These and other features that I will talk about, Riot Games should totally add to improve our experience. Let's jump right in. Today's episode is sponsored by Elgato. Go to elgato.com for the newest hardware for streamers, use the link from the description below and the code for 5% off. Thank you Elgato for sponsoring the stream. Let's talk about the remake function, aka the please don't make me suffer through a 4v5 button. While it's great that Riot lets us bail out of unwinnable games when someone goes AFK, the current system is not working as it should. Waiting for the game to start, only then to call a vote, just drags out the inevitable. On average, I personally waste around 20 to 30 minutes per day on my stream when you count all the remade games together. You have to load into the map and that takes ages. You play the round 4v5, then the remake vote happens. Typically the vote is dragged out and then you go to the menu. That entire process wastes over 5 minutes every single time. Here's the fix. If a player hasn't moved or pressed a single button or didn't load in by the end of the buy phase in the pistol round, the game should automatically remake. No need to type out /remake and then pray for the votes to happen your way. It's all done seamlessly, faster, easier, and way less tilting. And how much time would you spend because the game just ends automatically? You don't have to waste voting, you don't have to waste time waiting for the players to vote, you don't have to wait for someone who's playing a duo with that one person who's AFK saying no, he's gonna come back, and then you lose 3 rounds in a row and then he comes back. No, none of that happens. You instantly remake, no one loses their time and no one is getting tilted. Next on the list, let's talk Minimap. It's the heart of information sharing in Valorant, but what if it could do more than now? Picture this, you're holding a site and your teammate sees a jet smoke land in their POV. The minimap should automatically show that jet's utility to everyone on your team. Genius, right? There are many rounds where you play, for example, on Bind and Hookah, you're busy fighting, you win your duel, you look at the minimap, see that your teammate is in elbow, looking at site and sees nothing. So you go back to site only to realize someone just waltzed in already in the middle of the site and you get killed. The player from elbow didn't tell you that he is smoked off or walled by the sage, and you didn't realize that the vision cone of him on the minimap was cut in half. So you die because your teammate doesn't know how to communicate. Now Riot, let's make our minimap work smarter, not harder. Now I know that people could say, but hey bro, if they add this feature to Valorant, you will just make people not communicate even more. Well, the thing is, after 4 years of playing Valorant, I can definitely tell you that majority, like 98% of the players playing ranked, are not communicating in a proper fashion anyway. They're not telling you what utility they see. They're not telling you anything what happens on site. And you are absolutely getting demolished because you have no idea what's going on, because people don't speak, don't report anything. So I legit think that dumbing down the game, but making the utility pieces being visible on the minimap when the teammate sees it, is so vital to make the game just better experience, but also just better game overall if we add this to our game. Next on the list, the infamous agent select phase. Wait, infamous? Wait.
Infamous.
Okay. The infamous agent select phase, where dreams of synergy go to die. It's time for Riot to borrow a page from League of Legends playbook and give us a structured pick phase. Imagine this. No bans, no crazy restrictions, just a calm, orderly process where everyone chooses the agent in turn from both teams, and you show it to each other. So, you want to lock in your Reyna? Great. But maybe you'll think twice when you see the rest of your team already picked some duelists, right? You see that your opponents are picking both Killjoy and Cypher? It would be great then if someone could play a Sova, KO or Raze to counter the utility. This could encourage better team comps and make sure that no one has to ever say ever again. OMG, another jet main? The cherry on top, less toxicity before the game even starts. It's a win-win. Alright, I lied about the toxicity. What do you guys are thinking? No, this will not reduce toxicity. But it could be cool, no? The next 2 points that I'm gonna make are gonna be very controversial. So let's start with the first one, server selection. Right now, choosing a server feels like picking a Wi-Fi network at your parents' house. But what if we scrapped the boring location-based names altogether? Instead of London, Frankfurt, Tokyo, Stockholm, Paris, Warsaw, we have servers named after Valorant lingo. Spike Central, Prime Phantom, or my favorite, Crouching Sheriff and Hidden Vandal. So here's the kicker. If the players won't be able to tell which server is which, players wouldn't select even specific servers, but instead set a max ping they're comfortable with. This would eliminate regional tribalism. No more "speak Russian, blyat" complaints because you play on Stockholm. And apparently, everyone knows that Stockholm is in Russia. Or you play on Paris, and that also apparently means that you need to know French. Oui, oui, je connais parfaitement le français, j'avais une intention de jouer reina. And it boosts the competitive integrity of the leaderboards because now you will not be able to force yourself to only play on one server. So you're gonna be playing against a wider range of players. Riot, let's make server selection less toxic and more fair. Now, let's talk about the bane of any online game, all chat. Sure, it's fun to throw out the occasional nice shot, but let's face it, 90% of the time it's a cesspool of toxicity. Worse, it's being weaponized to sabotage games. A few days ago, I made a viral tweet about the all chat, about removal of the all chat in Valorant, and I got like 2,000 likes, 300 replies, and so on. And in the beginning, it had very positive reception. People with grounded positions, scenes like Anders tried to find positives of the all chat to essentially warrant it still being in the game, and he couldn't. Obviously, there's no point in having the all chat in the game, but yet after some time, 80% of the answers to my tweet were absolute cesspool of toxicity. I was being assaulted, harassed. I don't even want to show the replies on to my tweet. But my point is, it was like a personification of the all chat, but in my Twitter replies. But now let's go back into the game and picture this. Your teammate's position gets leaked in the chat by a salty brainer. It's essentially round over. The solution? Just remove the all chat. Keep the comms between the teammates. It's gonna be less salty and more focus. Because your teammates will not be able even to complain to the opposing team, so they will not be yapping instead of playing the game. It actually will keep the players more immersed in the game because they will not waste time on something that is meaningless like talking to the opposing team. And if you still want to talk to the opposing team, Riot could add, instead of all chat, add a pre-built all chat comms with sentences that you could choose from, like "nice shot," "you got lucky," or "I'm gonna go to your home and cook you dinner," and of course, GG easy. Obviously, those are jokes, but still, pre-built messages for instead of all chat would have been so much more useful than what we have right now. Less sabotaging, less toxicity, and more focused teammates. The next feature that I would love to have in the game is, I know, probably never gonna happen, but it would be lovely to have. What if we could draw on the minimap to essentially explain our teammates what we would like to do or how we would like to proceed during the round? Now, yeah, let me stop you before you say it. I know people will draw dicks on it. I know it's gonna happen every single time. So instead of drawing, I would like to have a set of stickers that you would like to use on the map instead of just drawing it with a pen. And I think that will be solving the issue of the penises appearing on the minimap, but also will be essentially showcasing what can you do on the minimap to help you win the game, right? It's like a tool that people are always more incentivized to achieve certain goals because they were given tools and they identify the tools, what to do with them. So I think that would be a good addition to the game. The problem is, though, that I know that a feature like this requires a lot of dev time and also is very low on the priority list. So I probably would never get added, but it would be lovely to have for the tryhards who would like to win the game and communicate more and essentially establish a communication channel between players. Because also drawing on the minimap could help communicating with players who are not using microphones or just straight up turn off voice comms. Obviously, if someone is spamming too many of the stickers on the map, then you could mute them because there would be an additional option of muting drawings on the minimap. The next feature I think is gonna be super simple to add to the game, and I legit don't think there's a single person that would not like this idea. So get ready. An additional sensitivity slider for the minimaps. Yeah, I know how it works. Like, guys, when you have a high DPI, like for example, I play on 1600 DPI and 0.25 sensitivity, which essentially means that when I move in the game and I swap to like a iPad from Brimstone, then the cursor in the game and on the iPad of Brimstone has different sensitivity because the cursor during the smokes menu have the DPI only and not the sensitivity of the game. So it's like 4 times faster than what I actually have in the game itself. It's super annoying and very weird because you change the sensitivity mid-fight sometimes even. So it's very hard to follow. It would be so nice to have the ability to either checkbox that you want to have both sensitivities in the smokes menu or like utility menu and in the game sensitivity the same, or you would have a separate slider for the menu sensitivity. There's a workaround around it right now available, but it's incredibly unwieldy. You would have to change the Windows sensitivity to very low if you have a high DPI, but then you alt tap to Windows and your mouse is incredibly frustratingly slow. So you don't want to do that when you alt tap from the game. So that's why I think this could be a very cool feature to add to the game. And that's a wrap. These are just a few ways Valorant could level up its game. Whether it's smarter minimaps, better pick phases, or finally saying goodbye to old chat, these changes could make the game more fun, fair, and let's be honest, less frustrating. So, what do you think? Did I miss any game-changing ideas? Drop your suggestion in the comments and let's get Riot's attention. Until next time, keep grinding, stay positive, and remember, the spike doesn't plant itself. Reina, peace.